Hi folks, this is Simeon from Swedish Homestead. Here I am inside of our homemade greenhouse tunnel that many of you guys have seen before, both when we were planting in it and when we had chickens in it last year. And I have been thinking a bunch, and I have decided not to put my chickens in this greenhouse tunnel this winter. Here's why. Last winter season, I really focused a lot on my chickens here in the greenhouse in the deep bedding system, and it worked great. I loved it. I gained a lot of experience with it, a lot of things that I learned how I can change them and do them differently. But I've decided not to put my chickens in here over the whole winter. I'm going to put them in here initially when I put down all the tomato plants and stuff, so they can eat tomatoes and scratch through and compost it a little bit. But then when the real deep, dark, cold winter comes, I've decided to move them into the old chicken stable that I've been using as a brooder house. And the reason for that is that I reduced my chicken flock to about 50 chickens, which is not enough for me to keep up the temperature in this greenhouse. I will not invest into a 2-layer plastic either because of that, and I will rather use the same deep mulch litter system in the old chicken stable and keep them all in there so that I can keep the temperature up a bit. Now, I'm a bit bummed about that myself because I really like this. I loved having this deep mulch here. The chickens loved it. They loved the light. I didn't have to have additional lighting, and they had a lot of space, but I'm just afraid that the less animals I have in here, the harder it'll be to keep the temperature up. And you know, this greenhouse is really made for like 350 chickens, and that's, I think, when it would really work well. Both the deep litter system on this big of an area and the temperature as well. So if we are gonna have like a month or two of really cold weather, which is very unpredictable in our climate, I think it'll be too cold in here this year. I'll just have water problems and so on. But first they will be able to scratch through here. Now I'm amazed that these plants are still doing so well in here. We've definitely had a few frost nights, but it has been okay in here. And you can see that these cherry tomatoes, they're still ripening quite well. These big tomatoes, I mean, some of them are. We've had people come in here and just pick buckets full of tomatoes. But one reason why I will focus on cherry tomatoes is because of our climate, and they start to ripen earlier. I can start selling earlier, and I can continue selling further into the season. I still have lots of these black sweet cherry tomatoes, that's the variety, in here. So we will probably just grow big tomatoes for our own use, for ketchup and for tomato paste and tomato sauce, and just use these black sweet cherry tomatoes to sell to customers. Now I really like this variety here because it's not super small, and you still get quite a good amount when you pick them yourself. You have these cherry tomatoes that are just tiny, and they cost so much money, all your work hours that you put into picking them. Now the good thing is that when I can put the chickens or the turkeys through here, I can just have this all be composted and just plant right into the ground again next year. So this worked really well last year, and I'm quite excited about it. Now I've harvested almost all of our potatoes. You see there's just this little part left back here, and that's really worked well. This is the deep litter system that I took out of the greenhouse earlier this spring. You just saw where I was standing, how it was just very dry, and here you see where rain has been added to this, and the worms have crawled in it, and the insects, just how nicely this is composted, and it just smells incredible. That's where the potatoes have grown. We've gotten a really nice harvest, and now I will also put the chickens on here because there were a lot of eggs from slugs and other insects and some maggots and stuff that the chickens will just come, scratch through, eat it, and prepare this. This will be an amazing garden area next spring. So as you can see, there are still quite a lot of things that we have to do here, but the season is coming to an end. We are wrapping things up here, and we're really looking forward to a calmer season now this winter, where you again refresh your own batteries, and we just try to go with the seasons here on the farm. Going against the season, having off-season production is just expensive. It's still nice to be able to have your daily routines, checking on the animals and so on, but it's also nice to really wind down and enjoy the long and cozy evenings in front of the fireplace with your family. There'll naturally be more forestry videos again coming up, and more videos inside the workshop. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for that and been very patient, but that's gonna come this season again. And we are having the anniversary come up on the 26th of October. It'll have been 1 year Swedish Homestead. So still hope to do something cool that day. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.